Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm aboard the new Star Breeze from Windstar. I say new because this is pretty much a brand new ship that it's been stretched. And I'm here with Graham Cockburn, who's the executive chef for Windstar. And one of the great new things on this ship is the cuisine and the new restaurants. So we're going to talk to Graham about those new restaurants and a whole lot more, and really mostly about food. We've done this before with Graham about 2 years ago when we were out in Asia, and we're going to talk to him about the new food here on Star Breeze on Insider Travel Report. Now, Graham, first of all, it's back. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again. It's been at least a couple of years. I think it was down in the Far East.
Yeah, we were out in the Philippines and all over the place, and it was a wonderful cruise, and we had the whole team on board. And here we are again after a long promise that this is, we got a slight delay because of COVID, and we're here on board. We're actually not in the kitchen. Well, last time we were in the kitchen, we're actually in the show lounge because Graham just finished a culinary presentation to teach us all how to cook some really good shrimp, right?
Yeah, simple, fast, easy, elegant, and those one of those recipes that we just cooked is from our James Beard Foundation. That's one of our relationship that we have in the culinary field.
Well, I was taking notes, and I'll take the recipe with me. But I think I liked your idea. Fly you over to cook it for me. How about that?
Fly me over. I'll cook it for you, and then I'll take a vacation.
There you go. I like that idea. We'll bring you to New York for a little while. Now, anyway, we do want to talk to you about these new concepts because you have two new restaurants, which is, for this size ship is pretty amazing. You have the Quarto 44, which I stumble over it, which is by Anthony Sasso, which is a Spanish restaurant. Your friend Peter there, who's a F&B director, corrected me and said, "No, I don't like tapas. Yeah. This is Spanish cuisine." And so you have that, and then you have the Stephen Reichlin, Star Grill restaurant, barbecue, and that has actually become. I got to tell you, the last 3 meals I had were there.
Yeah, good. And how were the meals?
They were all different. This is the whole thing. But how did you're implementing these things for this new ship? What have been the challenges?
The challenges were, first of all, were the ovens. So obviously we thought we were going to smoke upstairs, up in the actual grill itself where the restaurant is. Right. And then we suddenly realized we couldn't because the smoke is quite heavy. Luckily, we had a little bit of foresight, and we brought in 2 brand new ovens and put them into the main kitchen. So there was a lot.
They're all smoked down in the main kitchen, and you take them up.
Yeah, they're all smoked out in the main kitchen. So one of our chefs, he constantly smells of smoke. So he's a smoking chef, So there's 2 ovens directly situated for the Stephen Reichlin grill. And obviously, when we were working through the menu, the recipes, we were using both ovens at the same time. So we've smartened up our act, cleaned up our act, and what we've been able to do is design the menu around the dishes now that are on the menu. So now we only use one oven. So one oven is used all the time for smoking, and the menu has been designed around all the smoked products.
And what I'm amazed about is that you have every day it's been something different up there for the meats that you're offering, right?
Yeah, that's right. So it's only a 7-day cycle, but it's a 7-day lunch cycle, it's a 7-day dinner cycle. So we've been very particular about what we're offering, how we're getting that product cooked, how is it going to come out. So we're not concentrating on small pieces here, we're concentrating on large cuts of meat.
Yeah, there was some pretty good, there was a huge pastrami today that I had. In fact, just before I saw you, I had my pastrami and I had some chicken. So.
Yeah, so that pastrami, that's all made on board. We brine it down for X amount of days, when we do a self-injection system, then we smoke it, then we cook it. It's a 17-hour cooking process for that piece of meat. So yeah, we're working at this all the time, and we do have one dedicated chef working on that product who's training up 3 to 4 other chaps. Yeah. Those chefs will then, 1 or 2 will stay with us, and 1 or 2 will head directly over to a Legend, so that we're already in sync by thinking about, okay, next ship is a Legend.
Right, so you're going to be over there training that group to on this board. Now, let's turn to the Quarto 44. What have been the challenges there? Because it really is a much more, the one on Stephen Reichlin's way on deck, you got a big expanse space. It seems to be really popular from what I can see. And then you have this other restaurant, it's only, 36 seats or something. Seats, yeah. But also looks like it's going to be incredibly popular, and you've had to ramp up for that too, right?
Yeah, we ramped up. So what we did do was we looked at our times of opening times, what kind of covers or numbers we want to get through that restaurant. And then we designed the restaurant was designed anyway, and then we looked at the menu, we revamped the menu with Anthony himself, and then we had a few days, okay, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that. So it'll always take 3, 4, 5 days to revamp things to get it to the flow of the restaurant. So it's important that we're working with the flow of the restaurant, not working to the flow of the chefs.
Right, right.
So if we work to the flow of the restaurant, the speed that the guests are coming, the speed that they want to dine at, and then that's how we'll work out the restaurant or the dishes that go in the menu. Are the dishes overcomplicated? Are the dishes taking too long? Are the guests feeling they're being sat at the table too long?
Well, I got to tell you, it works out real well. But then again, that could just be because I had a sangria and then 2 glasses of wine during the course. Yeah. And it's wonderful wine. You can get nice Spanish wine and all kinds of things. But it's such wonderful food. Both what I would call tapas, but also your main dishes too.
Yeah. And the whole good thing about that menu is you can come in and just eat through the appetizers or the tapas so-called menus. You can go straight onto main course, or you can go from the appetizers right into dessert, or you can come just say I want a plate of the Iberico ham and I go into a dessert. So it's very open, that menu. There's no system saying that, oh, guess what, we want you to have an appetizer. Right. A starter, a soup, a salad, main course. So
you mix and match.
You make your way through the menu any which way you like.
And then the other thing is, I got to say, you were talking earlier about what do you order a lot of, and must be the Iberico ham, because I went through a whole plate pretty easily.
Yeah, the Iberico ham is very popular, so that is a very good brand of Iberico ham, and one Iberico ham maybe lasts us 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's wonderful. Now, obviously, you didn't stop there. You have the 2 new restaurants, but you've also sort of revamped your main restaurant. Tell us a little bit about that, which is, when the name is, I always forget. But
it's Amphora. So we have the Amphora restaurant. So obviously, I've been at home for about 14 months during the pandemic, so I've been able to revamp all the restaurants. So and Amphora was particularly one of them. So you can go from ship to ship now, and not having the same menu on ship to ship on every ship has been the same. And with us implementing the 2 new restaurants, as well as restarting up Candles on the new menu concept, it's given us much more flexibility, and we've taken away recipes from the Amphora and introduced new menus, because what we don't want is anybody saying we've got repetition. Right.
And normally we're on a sort of a shakedown cruise in a way, this one, because we're taking a look at everything. Yeah. But normally that restaurant would be open 7 nights a week, right?
Yeah, 7 nights a week, and because our numbers are pretty low in the pandemic, as soon as our numbers start to build up and people have got faith and confidence to come back out and start cruising with us again, in general, and all those restaurants will be open every single day.
Yeah, and also you'll change the menus a lot, right?
Yeah, so the menus are 3 specialised restaurants upstairs. Those menus, the Stephen Reichlin menus change every day, right. Lunch and dinner. The Quattro menus is a set menu, and the Candles menu is a set menu, but our buffet menus are all changing. Our Amphora menus changes every day. Our lunch menus changes, our dinner menus changes, so there's no repetition there at all.
So Graham, you mentioned Candles. Now, Candles it's the restaurant the Veranda, which is your lunch and breakfast restaurant. It turns into Candles at night. Yeah. And talk a little bit about what you've done with both Veranda and Candles.
So the Veranda's had a good overhaul. So the buffet lines are bigger. We've introduced more.
They're not even buffets anymore, right?
Yeah,
they're kind of served.
Yeah, we've introduced bigger stations. We've spread out the food, which has helped us rather than everything being compact, everything's much more open. So you're much more freely walk around, get to pick and choose what you want. And because of the COVID, we need extra precautions that we'll serve you, etc., etc.
Yeah, they don't let me go, and they said, "What do you want?" And I point, and they put it on the plate. And then you do a la carte as well out there.
Yeah, we do a la carte. We still got our a la carte. So if you still want your hot dog, your hamburger, your minute steak, or your piece of fish, then we'll do that, and we'll do that every day. Our Candles concept in the evening, that's had a revamp of menu, so quite a few.
And that used to be your one specialty restaurant, right?
That used to be all we had.
Yeah.
But it's still a popular restaurant. Right. So
we're going there tonight, I think.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. Yeah. So we've revamped the menu substantially.
And what is it now?
So it's still a steakhouse concept.
Right.
We've got about an extra 5 or 6 dishes on there. We've got vegetarian dishes on there, more fish dishes, tomahawk steaks on there. So we've really upgraded the menu there. And fresh sides, more sides that I think with people wanting clam chowder now. So I've really looked at the menus with Peter, and we've gone through the board and said, okay, this would be a good choice for us.
Well, it's amazing because you have two hits, I think, on your hands with the Quadro and the Steve Reichlin Star Grill, because especially Star Grill. I mean, because you can have it for lunch too. And when I ate in Quadro 44, it also was packed, and so we're on a very reduced number of guests for this particular cruise. I think we only have 55 guests on. So
a bit more than that.
Well, with the media, they don't count us as guests. This but it's amazing, both those restaurants, and now you have you've ramped up with your main restaurant. It's just amazing, and I think you needed that time last year just to figure all this out.
Yeah, we needed that time because actually I wrote 2,222 new recipes. Yeah, so that has steered us in good place. All the menus are on a computer system where the chefs can go to now, so everything is correlated in. So if we had a long hard look at that. I had a long hard look at this over the period of the 14 months. Within the first 6 months is when I was still fresh about the ships, where when most of those big changes came into our menu concept, etc. And all I do is I keep going back, I keep tweaking the menu, I keep looking at the menu. And when I go and look at the repertoire and say, okay, actually we didn't put that dish into the format situation, so there's still loads more in.
So you sound like a rock concert, and you're deciding what songs you. Like
so so the menus are pretty well balanced actually. Okay. So and the menus are very strong, and that's what we've noticed, especially since I think the last time you were on board. The menus have just grown in strength.
Well, the food on board, I remember coming away from that saying, boy, Windstar food is really, really good. And I don't remember that when the first time I cruised on Windstar about 20 years ago. Yeah. The food now is super. It's at an incredibly high level. And now with these new restaurants, it's even higher. So it's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say that we've had to compete against that, but we've lifted up our whole game. Yeah. And we've had time to think it through, plan it out properly, and bring it into the way that we want it, rather than everything being like, I'm not going to say a rush, but when you're in the thick of things, it's not always achievable. But I've had time to come back, reflect, look at it, what have we been doing, what are we going to do, and what is the way forward for Windstar.
Well, that's perfect. And now you're off to maybe the next ship that's coming in. It will be Star Legend is the next one?
So I'm shooting up to Miami now. I'm going to stay there for a few days, and then I'm going to shoot back to the Legend. Bring out a Legend, and as soon as we got a Legend console brought out, then I'll shoot back to Italy again, and then we'll bring out the Pride.
Wow, busy schedule, I got to tell you. Well, first of all, thank you very much. The food has been amazing.
Thank you.
And really, we're just eating, and I'm going to the spa occasionally, and that's about my whole existence right now. I'm doing a little work, but it's been great to see you again. First of all, on this, and congratulations on both these two new restaurants, the revamp of Amphora Candles, and the Veranda as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and it's an absolutely fantastic product what we've got now. Absolutely super.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.